Alright, so this is week 14, and today is June 13th, and I want to wish my mom a very happy birthday. I already called her. Also, my Aunt Yoli. I hope y'all had an amazing birthday. This week was about Brazil, so I'll go into it. And the first day, like I explained on the first video, was pretty hectic because I didn't know I was leaving that day. So, what happened was they told me in the morning that we're leaving that night, and I still hadn't exchanged money. So I was in class, and then I usually stay on campus, but I like came home, had to rush home, grab my money, go exchange it, then go back to the university because I had soccer practice, and then on the way back from the U, like I was telling, I usually get like a ride home from one of the girls, and I was telling her like, yeah, I still have to pack. We're leaving tonight, and blah blah blah. Luckily, I told her because I was like, oh yeah, we're going on the 11 o'clock bus, blah blah blah, and she's like, no, I think it leaves at 10, and I was like, are you sure? And she like looked it up, and then she showed me on her phone. She's like, yeah, it says it leaves at 10. And I was like, okay, like I'll go to make sure. And I texted like the girls. I'm like, hey, like they just said leaves at 10. And we looked and it did leave at 10. So if she wouldn't have told us, then we kind of would have been screwed and had to like take a taxi or something, which would have been pretty expensive. So then I had like less time to even get more ready. Still had to take a shower, still had to pack. Um, but I got all it done. I got there, luckily. I was running, but I got there. My packing didn't go so bad. Like when I went to Buenos Aires, I took way too many clothes and shoes and stuff. And then for this trip, I did pretty good. I wish I would have took more shorts because it was way hotter than what I expected. Like as soon as we arrived, like as we got off the plane, like it was hot, like it was humid. Um, so that was like the first day getting there. This trip was like a little bit more calmer than Buenos Aires. So Buenos Aires, we were like planning it. We had like all these things to do. We had like an itinerary. We had like 2 to 3 things to do each day. But for Brazil, like since it was so last minute, like we even bought the tickets like 2 weeks before. We were barely planning like the day before we were leaving. Like we didn't have an itinerary, but it was kind of I kind of liked it more like we just had more freedom to do whatever we want. Um, yeah, so when we got there, we knew like it was gonna be like a whole new language or like how are we gonna get around, but it worked out. So they speak Portuguese. It's very kind of similar to Spanish, but not really. Like they do have some of the same words, but then some of the other words sound similar to Spanish. So we were able to get around. We would just speak Spanish, and then they would speak Portuguese. But like I felt like a lot of the times, like they would just like you could probably tell like we didn't understand what they were saying, but they would still just continue speaking Portuguese they thought we understood it, but it was still pretty cool. We got most of it. We just nod your head. Um, so yeah, we got there. We got this guy was like trying to get us like to go in his taxi, and he was like lowering the price, but they were like, no, we need to get a radio taxi because it's like the safest one. So we did that. And then we had to go to our Airbnb, and there was like a lot of traffic. It took us like 2 hours to get there, and it was crazy. Like they're driving, that's like the most insane driving I've ever seen. It was like fast and crazy. There was like all these motorcycles going through the middle of the lanes. Like every single motorcycle was doing that. Um, since there was so much traffic, I've never seen this. This is crazy. There was like people selling snacks and all kinds of stuff like on the highway. Like they were standing in the middle of the streets, like they were crossing the highway. Like there was a lot of people selling stuff, so that was pretty cool to see. And I was like, we were all hungry, like getting there. I was like, "Ooh, I really want to buy a snack," but like I didn't know what the things were, and like can't really. I mean, you could ask, but probably wouldn't understood them. Um, so we get to the Airbnb. Our Airbnb was awesome. It had a hammock in it that was really cool. It was pretty small, but still it worked. We had a view of Christ the Redeemer. We were only like 2 blocks from the beach, And then there was a grocery store like literally around the corner. Very nice location. The host was really nice. Like she helped us get a taxi on the way back and explained everything, and she was really helpful. Um, and then that night we went to a she recommended like this buffet Chinese place, and I thought it was just gonna be regular buffet, but like this is how they mostly all the restaurants were if they were buffet. So you go and you get your food, and they do it or they charge you by the weight. So you get ever how much food you want, and then they weigh it and then they put it on a piece of paper. It was a little bit more expensive than I thought, and the food wasn't that good because, of course, it's like a buffet place. But it was still pretty decent. I wouldn't go again, but it's still cool. The first day we walked around the beach. I got this thing. It's like I don't know what they call them. Uh, Dang it, I always forget words. But no, I thought I had it, but I don't. Dang, it's something with a T or an R, something like that. But tapestry, but it's not really a tapestry. This thing can also use it as a scarf or to sit on it at the beach or good for soccer games. That thing also got a lot of cool souvenirs while walking around the beach. Very, very pretty. So gorgeous. Um, we did try one of the snacks that like the people were walking around with, and it was in this yellow and green bag. I'll post a picture of that. But they were like these onion things. I don't know really how to explain, like fried onion rings, but then they had like this whitish powder on it, and I don't know. We none of us really liked it, so but we did try that. And then there was like all these people playing like like there was so on the beach like they had like soccer fields set up, they had like volleyball courts set up, and there was like tons of people on the beach like playing. I don't there was probably at least 10 different kinds of sports. But there's like some guys like juggling a ball, and I saw them and I was like, oh, I really want to play. And so I did. I asked them if I can play with them for a while, and I did. And like when I asked, they're like, "Yeah, sure. Like I guess she can play." And then I started playing, and they're like, "Oh, like she can play." So that was pretty cool. Um, let's see. And then yeah, we did that. Bought a coconut. That's a picture I posted. I think that same day we went to Sugarloaf, also called Pan de Azúcar. Um, and that's where you go. You have like amazing view. You go in like this cable car, and you're on top of this mountain. And you go to the first mountain on a cable car, and then once you get there, there's like you can go on another cable car into like even higher mountain, and it's just amazing view. Luckily, on that day, there was a clear sky and you can see everything. They even had an option on the first mountain, like you can um, ride in a helicopter. It was like $100 something, but they went all the way to like $700. So that'd probably be a cool experience. Um, what else? They had like these monkeys there. Like they had signs as like "Don't feed the monkeys." And I was like, "Oh, I want to see the monkeys." I wasn't able to see them, but my friends like they stayed more days than we did, and they saw the monkeys. Unfortunately, um, but I really liked that place. When we got out of there, there was like this choclo. I didn't get the name of it, but it was choclo, which is just corn. But this was like a sweet corn, and I've had a sweet corn before, but not like this. And then you could put like this cream, like it was like a icing, and then also cinnamon, and that was really good. And then they had like a fair each night by the beach, and then they had like all these souvenirs. Oh, I also got this one. This is our magnet for our house. I really like this one. Um, oh, and that's when we found the street food. And this is not like a saying thing, but street food is the best food. So we saw, or I saw this lady like eating out of this like little box, and I was like, oh my god, I want that. And so I asked her like where she got it, and there was like this girl next to her, and then she was like on the other side. And I was like, but where? And then she was like speaking to the girl in Portuguese. She was like, tell her, like, she was like pushing her. She was like, tell her where it is. And the girl's just like pointing me over there, and I'm just like standing there. I'm like, no, like, I want to know. And the lady's like, go show them. And she's like, oh, okay. So she goes and shows us. And like, if she wouldn't have took us, like, we wouldn't have found the lady, because the lady was like in her booth, like selling her things. And like, the girl had to go tell her, like, yeah, they want food. And then she pulls out like this ice chest from under the booth. Not an ice chest, but a chest with the food. And she has like 5 different things in different cartons, and they're only like $4 to $6 US, and they came with it was like beans at the bottom, then rice, and then some kind of meat, so either chicken or carne, and then some of them had like potatoes or like a vegetable, and they were really good. I think I ate it like 3 different, like for 3 different days. It was awesome, and each day had like something different. um so we ate that one night on the beach. That was pretty cool. Let's see. Also, a lot of, since I mean, of course, like it's touristy and they always speak a lot of languages, but we met like quite a few people that would speak English, Portuguese, and Spanish, and that was pretty cool because they'd be like, "Which one do you want?" But there was like we could, so you could definitely get around with Spanish, no problem. Um, The next day we went to the colorful stairs. It's called the Escadaria Celaron. Celaron. That's the Celaron is the name of the guy that painted it, and he's actually from Chile. And it was in like translation from what I remember is like a, not a prize, but like a present to the city for something like that. But if you look into that, it's a pretty cool story. So we took pictures on that. Oh, my thing, because there's like all kinds of people there. Um, Definitely tourists and stuff. So my thing was like English, English, anybody English. But I wasn't actually asking the people that. Like I was just telling my friends, and because I wanted like someone to take a picture of us. And like this couple walks by, and he's like, yeah, English. And I was like, oh, awesome. So that was like our whole thing for the week. And like English, English, anybody English. um, and then after that, we went to the Olympic sign, and it was like hashtag, because the Olympics are in like a week or 2 weeks in Brazil. It was just cidade. It's not, so it's not ciudad, it's cidade in Portuguese. The Olympica, like these huge letters in the front. It was like white, but in the back it had like all these colors, and it was really pretty. Also by the beach. Um, and on the way there, we ran into this um, food festival, and that was pretty cool. They had like this dancing going on, so me and my friend Grace, like we hopped in and we were dancing for a little bit. And then I grabbed a sandwich. It was really good. And then we also went out that night, and I liked going out in Buenos Aires a lot more just because the music there in Brazil was way different. Like it's not like the reggaeton or the even like house music or anything. It's like Brazilian music, and even like the dancing's way different. Um like here in Chile, like you'll see a lot of people like dancing together, like guys and girls, but over there it's just like girls by themselves, and just the guys, basically like the US, like guys just by themselves and stuff like that. So I mean, it was a cool experience. I'm glad we did go out one night. um and then there was Sunday. There was a market right in front of our house, and the host told us about this, and It was basically just, yeah, fruits, vegetables, fish, um, peppers, herbs. Like, it was awesome. That's one of the best fairs that I've seen. All of it so fresh. I tried Americua, something like that, for the first time. It's like this fruit and it has these seeds in it, and I don't. It's kind of slimy-ish. It's weird. I didn't really like it. It has like a very soury taste. But then they put like the same icing thing that we put in the chocolo. He put in this, so like we're like, what is this? Because everybody, like, they also like just like let you try it so you can buy it. And so we're like, what is this? And he's like trying to explain to it. We weren't getting it. He's just like, wait. And so like he takes the fruit and he goes puts in the icing stuff. He even gets like a spoon, and then he mixes it and we try it. And yeah, one of my friends was like making like she was like a sour face, and like all of the vendors around there were just like cracking up. So that was pretty cool. And then there was also this huge market only on Sundays. Also, this is a different market. It's called Feria Hippie de Empanema. So basically, a hippie market. Just another thing for souvenirs. Um, there was this really cool like booth where all these like I'm pretty sure it's Brazilian people, but it might have not been also with my baby hairs. Oh God. Um, um, but they're cooking like real Brazilian food. I have a video of that, so I'll definitely post that. Um, Also, while we were there, we saw another lady eating like out of a box, and we're like, "Oh, street food!" And so my friend was like really hungry, and so we asked her where she got it, and she was like, "Yeah, just 2 streets that way." Da da da. And we're like, okay, we'll try to find this place." And we actually did find it, and it's crazy. So it was only like $5 US, and um, and because on the picture it just shows like this plate of like rice, chicken, blah blah blah, just like one plate. But when the guy brings it out, it's like it's like chicken, rice, french fries, a salad, beans, and then also like this. So there's like this, we called it dirt, but it wasn't dirt. I don't know the name of it. But it looked like dirt or sand. I don't know. But it had like this, I don't even know how to explain the taste, but it's like really common there and people always eat it. So it also had that, and there was just like a lot of food, and it was only $5, which was pretty cool. It's like a hole in the wall place. I would definitely go there again. Um, so then that day was also really nice. So that day we decided to go to Christ the Redeemer. Definitely glad we went that day. So when we got there, it was like 3-ish o'clock, and we stayed there for like an hour or so. So when we got there, it was like clear sky, everything. We saw the view. And then by the time we left, like the clouds came in fast. Like you could see the clouds coming. I'm like, guys, we gotta take pictures now. So like we have pictures uh like right before the clouds are coming, and like 2 minutes later the clouds come and you like can't even see Christ the Redeemer anymore. It was crazy how fast it was. But we're basically in the clouds with Christ. um, so yeah, that was a cool experience. Oh, we had like all these also like little kids from, I don't know where they were from exactly, but they like wanted to take pictures with us. Oh, one little boy asked for my number, and I was like, yeah, sure. I wasn't really giving to, I was like putting in some random numbers. And then his mom comes over and she's like, this is my son, this is my son. And then like I give him back his phone, and then she's like walking with his holding his hand. I don't know, he's like 14 at 15, I don't know. But yeah. Oh, also at the restaurant we tried this, it's called Guaravita. It's like a common drink also there. Really, really cheap, like less than $1. So it tasted like a watered down Coke mixed with like some kind of juice. I don't know. Um, it wasn't horrible, but I wouldn't buy it on a regular basis. Uh, oh, we also took the train to Christ the Redeemer. They said like that's the better route because if not, you take like a van and you go like on the outside basically, and then with the train you like go through the jungle. It wasn't that cool of an experience, but they said it's better, so we did that one. Um, and then so that was it for that day. And then on Monday was our last day, and so me and my friend Maria wanted to go to this rock. Like, we really wanted to go to this rock. I forgot what it's called. Dang it. But, so it's like this rock where it gives you illusion of like it's at like a rock at the edge, and like you would like fall off this rock or whatever. But really, like there's this rock, and then there's all these other rocks like right under it, and you just jump up and that's it. But it kind of sucks because it was cloudy, and so we eventually made it. But wait, it took us like 4 hours to get there. We eventually made it. It was too cloudy, like you couldn't even see the view. But I'm gonna post a picture of like the view without the clouds, and then my pictures of when we were there. So what happened was, it's like an hour away from. So we stayed in Copacabana. That's like one of the safest neighborhoods. So that's where we were staying for the whole weekend. And this rock was like an hour away. So we were like gonna have to take an Uber and stuff. So we took an Uber, and getting there, like getting into the city, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be hard for us to find a taxi. There were buses, but like to get another taxi, I knew it was gonna be hard. So the Uber guy drops us off. We don't know exactly where this thing is at. We kind of have idea. We know the name. So we're asking locals, like, where is it? And also along the way, like, we see, like, some arrows, some yellow footprints. But no, we didn't see the yellow footprints at first. So people are like, yeah, you go this way up these stairs, blah, blah, blah. So we do all that, and then there's like 4 arrows pointing this one way, and it says this word. It doesn't say the name of the rock, but now I need to find the name of the rock. But so then there's like this local passing by, and we're like, hey, is this where it's at? And he's like, yeah, that way. You only have to walk like 40 minutes. And we're like, okay, we got it. And then along the way, there's like all these signs. It's like, yeah, go this way. And then there's also these yellow footprints. And we're like, okay, we're going the right way. So we're almost there. While we're there, like there's pretty good views and stuff. But then my friend, she falls. But then when she falls, she almost falls off like this cliff rock thing. Like she's halfway, like her leg is halfway, like kind of like off this cliff rock. And at first, like I saw her fall, and I like wanted to laugh, but then she was like, Krista, and I saw her leg, and I was like, oh shit, like she really needs help. So I like ran over there, like picked her up and put her on, and then like her knee was kind of hurt because she heard it before, and I was like, oh no, like I'm gonna have to carry her all the way back. Like we were pretty far. I was kind of scared for a second, but then she was fine. She was fine to walk. And then right after that, we noticed like we were walking the wrong way. Like it was taking us to this beach. And then we're like, great. So then that took us like an hour to get there, and we were walking back, and I was like climbing up this like hill, and it had like leaves. I was climbing up to see if we could find like a different route to get to this other place. And then on the way down, I like slipped because it was wet also, and there's like mosquitoes and all this stuff because it like rained that morning or something like that. And so I slipped down this hill, and I like got about to grab this tree, but there's like these trees throughout this hike, whatever, that have like thorns on them. And so I was about to grab it and I saw it and let go. So then like I just had to fall and I like scraped my elbow. I have like pictures of that. Scraped a little bit of my knee. So yeah, it was definitely an interesting hike. And so after we go back, after the 2 hours of going the wrong way, we're like, okay, we're here. Like we need to find this rock. So then we asked these other people, like, where is it? And it was literally like right around the corner from the other arrow place. We're like, okay, we get there, and then the sign's saying like, okay, this is what it is. Hold on, I got the name of the rock. Pedro Pedra do Telegrafo. That's the name of it. So finally we see names for that, and we're like, okay, the right way. So the lady's like, yeah, 40 minutes to get there. But then when we get there, we come into another, like, you either have to turn left or you have to turn right. And we're like, great, like, we can't go the wrong way again. And we're like, kind of like stressing and worrying because we have to catch our flight like that night too. And we're like, no, we can't spend too much time here. But then we finally picked the right way. We get there, we finally get there. Um, but yeah, it was definitely an experience. Definitely remember when we hiked like all the way back down. We're like gonna get a motor taxi, and motor taxis are basically just a guy on a motorcycle. You just hop on his motorcycle, and that's a taxi. I actually really wanted to try it, but we didn't get to. But it would have been too expensive to take the motorcycle all the way back to the place because it's like an hour away. So we had to get on a bus, and then because the bus to our back to where we need to go is gonna take 4 hours. So we're like, we can't do that. Like we're gonna miss our plane. Blah blah blah. So then we got it. We're like, I was like, okay, just get on a bus. We'll take it to the nearest city. As soon as we get there, we'll get off, find a taxi. Luckily, we found a taxi. We made enough time to take a shower, eat some food, and then we went straight to the airport. But yeah, definitely experience. And then, yeah, that was it. Oh, also there's this, so every place seems to have like this drink. So Chile has pisco, Buenos Aires has I forgot the name, but I talked about it in my last video, so it's fine. And then so Brazil has caprianas. I think that's how you say it. And they basically taste like a margarita on the rock. They were pretty good. I would definitely drink those again. I wouldn't drink the thing in Buenos Aires. The thing, oh, a Fernet. I think it's called Fernet. Those things were just disgusting. Yeah, so that was it. That was my Brazil trip. Next week will just be regular. I have a few more things lined up before I leave, and then I'll be planning for Peru. So, yeah. Okay, bye.